And we're live, people. Deluded, I'm back again. I got the man them tuned in with me. It's looking like brighter days where Arsenal are concerned. Mikel Arteta said he had goosebumps, and there's the wheels of emotion now, boys. How you lot doing, man?
Good, bro. Good, bro. How's everyone, man?
I'm good
Sweet.
as well. I'm excited to chat to both of you. Things in the last 48 hours have been good. It feels like the transfer window is open again, so great to chat about it.
I mean, African Gooner, you said it there, yeah. Obviously, before we get into specifics, I can't imagine an Arsenal fan's under a rock. But why did you say what you just said? You alluded to the last 24 hours, and you alluded to the transfer window. Like, how exactly are you two feeling about us finally getting a move on, man? I guess.
I think, we've been here for a couple of weeks now. The three of us, and it was the four of us, right? And we've been talking about how we needed to be patient. We were talking about how we were waiting until July, for example, because of the financial year in Spain to announce Zubimendi. We were talking about the fact that it's not black and white, that rivals have signed players before us because they were easier signings. And if we want to have level raisers, they're going to be difficult signings to get over the line. It's not as simple as just going on FIFA, paying the money that is being asked, clicking X, and then the players holding the shirt, right? I mean, a lot of fans forget that. There's a lot of forces in motion, some of which are beyond what we understand as regular fans, not being in those rooms, not being part of that level of discussion in the C-suite and the boardroom, right? So I specifically told you guys, and I know some of you agreed with me in terms of being patient and seeing this play out and not really judging at the moment, because Berta just came into the job. It had only been 3 weeks, and people were already calling for this guy's head to be cut off.
Fraud watch, as some were saying.
Yeah.
It's crazy, man. What you got to say as well, man? You've been kind of quiet, my boy.
Nah, do you know what? I originally said, you know me already, I was in the stance where I was patient. I knew we was kind of going to do this. Obviously, you want to see some transfers go through the door, but I was patient because I knew this is how Arsenal do things. When we signed Declan Rice, Havertz, Timber all in one signing, this was around July, mid-July we made those signings, and people were happy. People were saying that, for the first time we actually acted like a real club had done things early, right? But it's only June, guys. It's only June, so yeah, I'm happy. I'm happy.
Where's Aaron? Because Aaron was
should be here to be fair. Should be here to be fair.
We were saying 2 weeks, yeah. June, end of June, we'll make some movements, and now we've signed 3 players, and he's not here, right? So look, I mean, as we said,
Aaron, you're meant to be here, man. The bird call's been given, man. They're looking for you, Aaron.
Literally, right? That was the conversation.
I heard his name like the boogeyman.
There he is. There's the man, the myth, the legend.
He heard his ears whispering, man. What you saying, my guy?
Good. Yeah. No, I'm all right. Yeah, sorry. I just had a quick nibble. I just jumped off another channel.
Nice haircut. I need to be.
Yeah, I was about to say that.
Deluded got one. You got one. I got to be the next one now to get one.
Yeah.
Get ready for my official pictures and my signing, holding the shirt with Sesko, right?
Yeah, no. Don't start already, African Gooner. Honestly,
I
needed a haircut, man.
He said African Gooner, man.
Bro, I'm the one
who throwing change at me. I needed a haircut, man. Honestly,
I'm the one who broke the exclusive. I told you guys like 3-4 weeks ago. You guys we put a forfeit on it. I agreed to the forfeit, and then I was the one that broke the news that basically this guy's coming, man. His barber already told me, He already told me 5-star reviews. We got to make sure we go give that guy 5-star reviews once the deal's done.
5-star reviews for a 2-star player.
I mean, that's another
Here we go.
So I have to ask the question, can fans calm down now?
A little bit.
I think
before we get into transfer news and everything, fans calm down?
I think fans need to just calm down now, right? It's because, you know what? I've seen it, especially on AFTV, they're talking about, everyone else has signed players. Look what everyone else is doing. And if you look,
they're not wrong, to be fair, though.
No, but hold on. If you look around, Liverpool signed 3 players. Man City, obviously, because of the Club World Cup, they've signed players, obviously, to get through the Club World Cup. Who else has signed players? Nobody. They're all in negotiations. Barcelona's in negotiation with Nico Williams. Chelsea been making bids, but they ain't got no one. They only got
and Remo as well.
Yeah, like
Madrid got Housen.
Yeah. But what I'm trying to say is that no one's made these 3-4 signings apart from Man City because they had to do the Club World Cup. And Liverpool, obviously.
Yeah. Who are our rivals?
Yeah, I hear that. Yeah. But if you look around across the board across Europe, no one's actually made those major signings yet. So I think we
Not
just need to
bar
be a
our
little bit
Premier
patient.
League rivals.
But who?
Manchester City and Liverpool.
No, I
Okay,
hear
cool.
that. I hear that.
I hear that.
They're
But
the
what I'm
ones
trying to
that
say,
matter, bruv.
I hear that. But what I'm trying to say across the board now, because everyone's talking about, it's like everyone has made major signings, and we're not the only ones to do that. Boom, free come through the door. All right, they're not the most exciting, but we know why we've done it. No,
Yeah,
we can get it.
Would you say on the 26th of June that the signings that all three clubs have done, Arsenal have got closer to Manchester City and Liverpool or further away, given all the signings that all three of them clubs have made? That's the real question.
the answer to that question is
Right
hard.
now.
Yeah, it's hard to answer. I would say we haven't moved. But we
Have Manchester City moved?
Yes, but the difference
What about
is
Liverpool?
let's actually have a proper conversation about this, because I've agreed with you. You're right. We haven't moved enough closer to them, which I agree with. But they've also signed the level raisers that we haven't gotten yet. So when we get our level raisers, then ask me that question, and that is the real epitome, and that is the real understanding of have we moved closer or not. Because by the end of the window, right, if we don't sign Rodrigo, we don't sign Sesko, we don't get Eze, or whatever the case is, then we can say, yeah, we didn't move closer. This was the failure of a window. But for now, in the present time, we've beefed up the squad where we needed. As he said, it's not the shiny toys that we wanted. I do think Zubamendi is an underrated signing. I do think Kepa is also an underrated signing. Again,
I agree with Zubamendi. I don't know if Kepa's an underrated signing.
He is underrated because he's going to be better than what we had, and we paid 5 million. So by that notion,
I hear you on the 5 million thing.
5 million, bro.
There's no other second choice keeper to go off.
Think about all our backup keepers, right? I can think of whatever, Runnerson, right? Matt.
Oh God,
all of those guys,
horrible.
Don't say his name. Don't say his name. Don't say his name.
But you know what I mean? The fact that you're saying don't say his name is proving my point,
man.
right? Kepa is better than all of those guys, and we got him for 5 million. So I'm not gonna cry about that signing, right? Like, legitimately, it's a good signing. He's not gonna play much. And I mean, in terms of Christian Nørgaard, look, we weren't excited by that signing, but he's also not going to play a lot of minutes, right? So yeah, I hear you, Garrett. We haven't moved enough.
Are you sure Nørgaard's not going to play that many minutes across a 38-game season and the rest of it?
Yeah, I don't
based
think
on
he's
what
going
you
to
saw
play
last year.
much.
Whether you rate the player or not, do you really think he's not going to play that many minutes?
He's going to play FA Cup, League Cup games, and if we have too many injuries, then maybe he'll play.
I disagree.
I think that's a naive view, man. I must admit.
I disagree.
You think he's going to start Premier League games?
I never said start.
I don't think he's going to start.
But he's going to play a lot more minutes than you believe.
I think he's going to play a lot more minutes as well.
I think we have actually a lot of different players that we can play before him. I even think that Arteta in the Premier League will probably play Rice before he plays Nørgaard, for example, in the 6. It all depends on the formation. We're making a lot of assumptions, but we don't even know if we're going to play the same formation. We don't even know if we're going to play with 2 6s and a 10, or we're going to continue playing with 1 6 and 2 8s, right? So it's hard to have these conversations.
But that's the thing now, is that's what I said earlier. I know these are not the most exciting of signings, but it gives us variety in that midfield. Because one thing you can say about Nørgaard, although he's not exciting, he's one of the most efficient in terms of breaking up play, defensive mid, and getting it to the strikers that we need to get to, or get to the attacking thirds we need to get to. So I'm just saying this, guys. I know it's not the most exciting. I know that I can see people in the comments as well. They're like, what? But we need to remember this, right? When we had our most recent sort of best transfer window, which was like 2 years ago, 2023, Declan, Havertz, they all come in July. They all come mid-July.
They didn't. You know why? Because I was the one that announced Havertz when Arsenal made a mistake and they leaked it on their official website. And you know what that date was? It was actually tomorrow, June 27th is when we announced Havertz.
Cool.
So,
okay,
close
cool.
enough.
Cool, fair enough. But no one was excited about Havertz though, wasn't it? Everyone's thinking what we doing with Havertz, right? But as soon as we signed Declan Rice and Timbo,
what are you excited about Nørgaard? Like, I don't think it's a bad signing. He plugs a hole, but like, what we doing here?
Do you know what I'd as well say, yeah? And to be fair, like all of the players that Arsenal sign, I hope they do well. But we're talking about assumptions and all of that. Why is everyone assuming that Zubamendi is going to be really good? He can't play with his back to goal, and he's replacing Thomas Partey. That's what everyone's saying. Everyone's going on about. You can't have these two things at once, yeah? You can't have it, right? So you can't have, Nørgaard's here to replace Thomas Partey, and then say that that Zubamendi's here to replace Thomas Partey. You can't have both of them, yeah? So Zubamendi here to replace Thomas Partey? Yes, I'd say yeah. Okay, cool. We'll run with that then. So Zubimendi is nowhere near as good as Thomas Partey is with his back to goal, especially right in front of the box like Thomas Partey is. He drops his shoulder. I massively. I don't. I've seen it. I've seen enough of him in the Liga.
Partey's lost the ball enough
to drop the shoulder. Yeah, absolutely. He's been at Arsenal for 5 years, though. Of course, you've got 5 years of reference. You've got no years of reference to Arsenal for Zubimendi. As terms of wriggling out of tight positions and making a progressive pass, you haven't seen it. What we do know with Thomas Partey is he's used to the league for 5 years. He's used to Arsenal for 5 years. Zubimendi's never played in the Premier League before. He's never played for Arsenal. So we're making assumptions. We're making assumptions that he's going to come in and be excellent. I want him to come in and be excellent. But the reality is, he might take him 3 months to settle in. It might take him 3 minutes to set in. It might take him 6 months. It might never take him. He might come in and do what Mikel Merino is doing, absolutely nothing. So the worrying thing for me is, you can say this amongst any signings. I know that's absolutely fine. But why am I sort of gassed about Zubimendi over Thomas Partey? I'm not. I'd actually rather Zubimendi in there next year, at least even to learn. Sorry, rather Thomas Partey, even just to learn off of Thomas Partey. Arsenal's messed right up letting him go. Look at what Real Madrid do, and I'll take this for an example before I shut up and let someone else come in. Yeah, when they had Camavinga, Tchouaméni, and what's his name, Bellingham coming in. Sorry, Bellingham coming in. Yeah, they had them 3 players and Valverde as well. Yeah, what did they do? They didn't just go Tala to Modric. They didn't go Tala to Casemiro. They didn't go Tala to Toni Kroos. They kept them there. And they kept them players there for 1 or 2 years so they can learn what it's like to play for Madrid, learn the system, and learn just in general for better world-class proven players. Also just thrown out the window and got another 2 midfielders in. Guess what? And this is a stat that everyone else won't like, but I like them. Arsenal Football Club has spent £414 million on midfielders. And you're telling me the best that we can come up with is Odegaard, who's regressing for the last 2 years, Zubimendi, who's never kicked a fucking ball in the Premier League, and Declan Rice, who's out of position. Come off of it, man. Come off of it. Come off of it.
Declan Rice.
What's your rebuttal to what Aaron said?
What do you mean Declan Rice out of position? What do you mean?
He's a 6, not an 8. Even though he's performed well at an 8, he's not an 8.
Yeah,
he's a 6.
He has.
He's a centre back that came to number 6.
It shows you.
I'm not saying he's bad. I'm not saying he's bad. I'm saying he's better at number 6.
Cool. Now, fair enough. Fair enough. And that leads into my next point, right? Is because one thing I do agree with you is you're right. I had that sort of scarce before in terms of I'm not sure Zubimendi is going to come in and boom, hit the ground running, right? It's a different league, more pressing and all of that, right? But I will say this is that we've got enough players to kind of stop that gap until Zubimendi gets ready. Like you said, my bro, Rice can play there.
That's why we signed Nørgaard, who's proven.
Skelly can play there. We need to remember Skelly can play there as well. So I'm not really scared about that cover. Right. One thing I would agree with you, like I said, Zubimendi may take some time to get into his flow of the Premier League, but we've got enough players there to kind of stop that gap and Zubimendi to be like, okay, cool, I'm learning whilst I'm on the trade, and then get it. He's a quality player, guys.
Gravenberch, McAllister, Wirtz, or 414 million's worth of crap that Arsenal have signed. Who would you rather, them 3 or anyone that Arsenal can assemble after 440 million quid?
Of course, them 3.
Liverpool's midfield absolutely takes the piss out of ours, and they assembled it within 2 years.
McAllister, Gravenberch, and who? And Soboslai?
And Wirtz.
And Wirtz.
That midfield was assembled for less money than our starting midfield, and it took 3 times less time to assemble.
But he's just talking about their midfield in general, and
their Premier. Now they've won the Premier League as well.
I hear that, but we've got guys. We've got Declan Rice there. We've got Declan Rice and Zubimendi again, right? Just make sure. I'm counting that Zubimendi. We've seen him in Liga, and we've seen what he's done to Spain. Imagine he does that. Imagine he does that. Okay, that's what I'm trying to say. So imagine he does that. Imagine we've seen his quality, and he's able to actually do that in the Prem alongside Rice, alongside Odegaard. It's not you're acting like they're completely better than us.
Every single one of them players.
Also remember the point about the fact that Liverpool and Real Madrid wanted this guy, right? So if he's that bad and he's not good enough, why? So Liverpool were willing to get him, right? And he can't turn on come on, like the stuff that you're saying doesn't make any sense. Why would Liverpool be trying to sign him? Why would Real Madrid be forcing a narrative and paying a company, like I told you guys last time, they paid a company to make up fake rumors to stir and try to displace or, disturb the player to try to get him to change his mind. So clearly,
have you got facts to back that up? Like, that's a crazy allegation.
Yeah, it's not an allegation. We all saw it, right? The Spanish newspapers came out with it.
That's why I'm asking. I didn't see that.
Oh yeah, Hand of Arsenal is the one who posted it, right? And I mean,
fair enough.
The newspaper articles are posted the night before, so it's not like a huge revelation. But the point is, that, Spanish newspapers did this with Saliba, right? And they did this with Zubamendi. So this notion about Zubamendi not being good is just really, I mean, it's just out there for me, to be honest. But I hear your point about that.
No one's saying he's not good. I'm just saying he's
probably
your points,
Aaron. Let me finish. And in terms of the Thomas Partey stuff that you were saying, I agree with you. But on the other hand, you have to look at it from the club's perspective and also admire that the club stood firm in what they believed in. They don't believe that he was worth giving new wages, and we stood our ground and we pivoted and we brought someone else in. Yes, they're not as good. It's not as good, exactly. but we kept our standards. We kept our word. We stood and we believed in ourselves. Like, you know what I mean? Like, we didn't.
Well done. We kept a pride and got a shit player. Brilliant. No, that's great for an Arsenal fan. Well done, Arsenal. Well done, Arsenal. You kept your pride and you damaged the squad.
So kept our pride. Brilliant. Again, we don't know what's happening in the background with his allegations and those cases. Like, the club have way more information than us fans sitting here and debating. Like,
I hear you, and I don't want to get into that. But if they were going to give him a new deal, which we did hear they want to speak, there's clearly been a disagreement. So if Partey agreed to any sort of deal, that must tell. If they've offered him. That must tell you the club are not really thinking about the off-field stuff.
Sure,
I don't want to get hung up.
But they feel like he doesn't deserve more wages, right? And I respect.
That's where it comes down to. I don't blame Partey for wanting to go get more money. I don't necessarily, in isolation, blame the club for saying enough's enough. The issue is that's a legit point. Aaron said. To be fair, like at this moment in time, guys, are we stronger in midfield?
Previous regimes, we would have paid this guy what he wanted. That's my point that I'm trying to make to you. It's like there's a shift that we're willing to be a big club and say, yes, you're good. So what? You want this? We don't believe you want this. Get out of the way. Move on. We'll move on with our lives. We'll go get a Gume. We'll go get Nørgaard, etc. And we'll move on and we'll live on with that Partey. Partey is not the be-it end-all. Yes, he's a good player, but he also brought a lot of bad energy. Whenever we played, whenever he gets the ball, he gets booed. Like that affects, the team, whatever like minor that may have on the team, on the fans. It does, bro. Even as a fan that watches it, from the TV, every time he gets the ball and he gets booed, that's not something that I want to be seeing when any of my players receive the ball, right? It's not fun to see. So I'm happy that we've just moved on from this situation. I agree we haven't improved, but I don't think it's as dire as people are making out to seem. People just want to be negative. People just want to find reasons to complain, which is why in the last 48 hours, all the haters are just quieted down.
Is it concerning though? Like, not necessarily concerning, because I disagree with Aaron's point necessarily about Zubamendi being able to obviously turn or whatever point he said, but I think he's right in the sense of there is a lack of Premier League experience there, which is why I understand Nørgaard, even just the experience thing. I expect him to just be a squad player. You can kind of plug gaps, etc., etc. But do you worry about midfield? Because Zubamendi, for all we can talk about the good things, he is going to have to adapt to the league. He is going to have to find that partnership with Declan Rice. He is probably going to be kind of going through a tough period. Should we have kept Partey? And was it actually cheaper to keep Partey than to necessarily bring in a player in terms of like-for-like quality, excluding Nørgaard for a sec, lads?
Listen, I'll say this, right, is whilst we're talking about we should have kept Partey, but why didn't Partey, if he loves the club, because he's the one coming out saying I'm an Arsenal supporter and all of this and he loves the club, why don't you just accept the deal? If you want to stay,
why didn't we just offer him the deal a year ago and not let players run down their contracts?
Because the thing is about Partey, you look at his injury record and you're thinking
to always bring it back to injury.
That's not even, wait. That's not even true.
That is legit though. He doesn't stay
true.
So what?
We should have went for a replacement last year.
That's fine. It's so easy to rebuttal. Why not sell him last year then when we got fee?
That's what I just
because you can tell there's a player in there. You can tell there's a player in there.
Oh, so now there's a player in there, right? So why didn't they just sign him up if they could tell
at the end of the day, you know there's a player in there. Me personally, I would have got it done in January. Get it done in January instead of waiting to the end of the game.
So I just want to.
Whose fault is that? It's Arsenal.
Yeah, it's like, of course it's Arsenal. Of course it's Arsenal.
Yeah, they've allowed themselves to get their pants pulled down yet again because they don't know how to negotiate contract deals or any.
We made the decision last year, before the season started, that we didn't want Partey and that he was going to run out his contract. That was the stance at the beginning of the season. We wanted to keep Jorginho, right? Then Jorginho got approached from Flamengo and they offered him a lot of money. They offered him 3-year contract and they said he can do his coaching badges there, which Arsenal also said he can do his coaching badges with us. But obviously he's Brazilian, he's native, 3-year contract. He couldn't help himself, so he went. So then Berta came, and then Arsenal decided to change their mind and say, okay, well, now that Jorginho's leaving, we should keep Thomas Partey. So we changed our mind. We originally always planned that he was going to leave at the end of his contract, and we were not going to extend him. Then we said we're going to give him the same wages, right? And we're going to extend him. And now he doesn't want to accept. He wants an increase, and we don't want to give him the increase. And that's how it's ended.
You know what? Based upon that information, I blame
Yeah.
the club even more. I blame the club even more because if you're going to tell me that you'd rather keep Jorginho instead of keeping Partey, then there's
Sure.
something
Yeah,
not
fair
right
enough.
there.
That's all the
But-
coaching stuff and all the stuff we're not
No,
privy
no,
to.
Bunda,
Jorginho.
I don't care.
Jorginho is
I
well
would keep
respected.
Partey over Jorginho. I'm not really here for the kumbaya
How-
stuff, but
how is-
that's their
how is
looking
the
at
club-
it.
How
Yeah,
is the
me too.
club looking to keep Jorginho when you can tell he's on his last legs already? Yeah, don't get me wrong, you've done your service and you've done your dues.
Big up you for the coaching badges,
Yeah.
but that's not relevant to a degree, man.
Bro, I don't care about that. Like, you know,
That's what I'm saying. I don't care.
I don't
Yeah, he's
care
just well
about that.
respected in the club. It's like how El Nini
don't-
still comes
oh,
and
Yeah, I
tells
respect him
people,
for that, and I respect that.
Yeah,
But
yeah, I
that's
hear
good
you.
for
I'm
him
not-
and us.
Yeah.
Not
If
really.
unless you're gonna
We're
come
just trying to win trophies and get
man,
better.
we're just trying to win trophies. So
Yeah,
if
I
the
hear it.
club, if what you're telling me that the club has decided that they were gonna keep Jorginho, right, instead
Yeah.
of keeping Partey,
This is what I'm saying.
then
It was
then
reported.
it's a mad thing.
It was reported yesterday
Mad
that that's
thing.
actually
Mad.
what happened. Yeah.
That's mad.
Because in
That's
terms of
bollocks.
pure
That's
ability,
absolute
it's Partey. Obviously, there's
Oh,
factors around Partey individually, but come on, it would be Partey. Starts every week.
And go back to what you said, African Gooner, in terms of
Yeah.
people jeering him and stuff. Bro, we don't care about that.
I
he needs
know
professionals
what you mean, but
don't
it's
care
not
about
that
something
needs to be.
man.
That's waters off a duck's back, man.
Let's talk
Yeah,
about when we
man.
watch. When I
Jerome,
watch
one love for the super
when I
chat,
watch
man.
other
To be
players,
fair,
it
let me read this super chat quick,
bothers
African
me. Like,
Gooner,
I
man.
hate that it keeps happening. and
African Gooner, one sec. Let me read out this super chat. It's
Oh.
ridiculous that we care that the ops boot our players when they have the ball. One love for the super chat, Jerome. Go on, my guy.
I mean, sorry. Look, I mean, this is maybe different for me. Like, I'm not saying it's the be it end all, right? But it's something that I notice when I watch a game, right? And I think it has a small effect. It must have some sort of small effect, right? Like, think about it yourself as a player that you're playing, and you get booed every time. Like your teammates.
I'm not gonna lie, African Gooner. They're big enough. I'm sure their bollocks have dropped pause. They should be able to handle that, man.
Yeah. Maybe it's our cold.
You got a job to do, and I reckon these are some tough lads, man.
Yeah,
Even the
maybe
babyface
it's our
ones like
cold English
Saka and
manner.
Wanyeri.
We say worse things in stadiums.
I know,
Yeah,
but
yeah.
but it's the meaning behind it, right? Like when you're booing a player,
Yeah, it is. To be fair, it is that kind of stuff around Partey, but
something that he's
it
done
shouldn't affect the
that's
others.
inhumane is very different, right? So I hear your points. I'm not saying it's a be it end all. I'm just saying like I'd rather just get rid of it, get that out of the club, get that energy out, right? Like we don't need that. We want to be positive. We want to have players that are respecting each other, and that's why even though he is good and he is better than Jorginho and better than Nørgaard that we signed, I'm okay that we moved on from him.
Are we ever going to sign a player that ain't a crap of replacement though? That's what we've done in the window. Everyone else is going, oh wow, now Arsenal's window is set on fire. All we've done is just sign replacements. Are we actually going to improve the squad?
The thing is that again, as long as it's not shiny, but we have patched up our weaknesses, which are.
Oh, we do need to go get the shiny stuff now. I hear that you put milk and bread in the fridge. Go buy a TV now.
Now we
example, but
I love that example, DG. That's a perfect example.
Yeah, you need to get the food in first before you buy, the TV and the thing.
Yeah, man. I mean, do a madness now.
You still need a TV, right? You still want to play your game, right?
With all the subscription channels as well, striker, left winger, everything.
Yeah. Now
I love that analogy.
Now we don't need any more backup. Now we need to go and get the players.
We got our bread and milk, but now we need a TV. Sorry, I love that. That was really good.
Man. That's what I'm on. Like, because for me, like, I look at Nørgaard. We'll get onto him. Don't think you're worse. Cool, you're a squad player. You pivoted quickly. You're not breaking the budget. But the way I'm looking at that as you're saving money here to go and do a madness. I say madness subjectively up front and on left wing and at left wing and all the others. Cool. If you're plugging the gaps, I have been crying about depth. I can criticize the individuals. Cool. But make sure you go and get me those game changers. And to the fans that, to be fair, I do think fans need to, when we're slagging off the club, they're not making movements, give them their credit for this week. But then I also agree with them same fans in a sense of, these are cool players, but there's nothing like, oh, wow, like we're closer to, like what Aaron kind of said earlier, to Liverpool and City. Still ain't got the striker. Still, whether it's Rodrigo or Eze and all them guys we'll get onto, still ain't got them through the door. I know the deals take long and all that stuff, but it's still not been done. We're still not significantly stronger. We have plugged the gap, though. Or couple.
Yeah, we've just replaced the gaps. We haven't plugged anything. We've just replaced the same gaps. We're just exactly the same as we were last season. We're no further. We're no further.
No, you're right.
Who cares about Neto or Kepa Arrizabalaga? Who cares?
Yeah.
Who cares about Jorginho or Nørgaard? Who cares?
I care.
Who cares about
I
Zubamendi really or Partey? Is it that much of a level raiser that it's like, oh fuck, What I'm saying
Nah,
is, the point is, we've just replaced and not even really adequately that well. Great, yeah, we've got more players in there, but it just feels they might as well just be like free loan signings that we don't really care that much about. They're just whatever signings. They're whatever signings though. Look, come on, man. We know that we got to do more stuff in the window. Yeah, that's absolute fact, and I expect us to. But at the minute, if anyone expects me to be happy with this transfer window, then I'm not going to be happy at all. I'll be happy when we sign a proper striker and then a proper winger. And I'll be even more happier if we get another midfielder in there, a proper central attacking midfielder, because Odegaard's crap. Like, that's what I'll be happy with. He's crap, mate. He's crap. He's failed.
He's captained us to a semi-final, man.
He's not crap.
Hey, captain, he was the worst player in probably in the quarterfinal in every single leg, bruv. He was the worst player at Real Madrid, home and away. Worst player at PSG, home and away. Come on, man. Significantly. What are we doing here?
Bro.
Captained us in semi-finals. What did he do in the semi-final against Newcastle? Nothing.
Yeah, and then
what about PSG and Real Madrid?
What did
Nothing.
everybody else in the team do as well? I'm not discrediting.
He's anonymous.
He had a poor season, but to be singling him out and saying that he's shit and like, it's just ridiculous, man. Like, it's just ridiculous.
What's ridiculous? The only stats that he took, because everyone loves stats. The only stats that he started getting is when Liverpool confirmed that they won the league, and he was getting accidental shot assists against Ipswich. Look at the when it actually mattered between Christmas. And between March, he didn't even get anything. He was anonymous.
Terrible season. He was anonymous.
Yeah, crap. So he is regressing then. So he can't argue with that then.
He's regressing.
He's not progressing, or he's not. He didn't do as good as he did last season. He didn't do as good as the last season, the season before. What does that mean?
And we can say that for so many other players, including one of our best players, Saliba, right? So you have to be fair in your arguments. Like, singling out a player because he had a really poor season is just so short-sighted, man. Like,
am I not allowed to say that?
Of course you're allowed to say that, right?
Why does that make me short-sighted? Because I can see a player that in 22-23 wasn't as good as he was in 23-24 or 24 and 25. That's not short-sighted. Because over 2 years, he's got progressively worse.
So 25% of his Arsenal career was bad, and therefore you're making a judgment on his
I'm not saying 25%. I'm actually saying that's just the statistics that you're throwing out in the air because you, for some reason, like the percentage side. And that's not what I'm saying. You're just throwing 25% out there.
Aaron,
his first season, he was fine. Then he done it actually pretty good. And then
I don't need to hear
since 22. Why do I have to give numbers? What are we doing here? I'm giving you a 22-23 season was his best season under Arsenal. That was 2 seasons ago. Was he as good as the season after that? No, and he was worse the season after. Yeah, because he's like that. No, you can't argue with that. Just because I haven't gave you a number, you don't like it. He was good, then he weren't as good, and then he was bad. Regression over 2 seasons. It's not difficult to muster up. Why do I have to throw a percentage on it? It's ridiculous.
I am giving you a logical framework that I'm judging.
So did I, and he's going like that.
And I agreed with that. But I'm saying
he's going down a slide.
A decisive call on a player off of one bad season is not the way that I do it. I mean, it's just for me, that's just I don't know. I let someone else.
Over 2 seasons, he was regressing from 1 season.
Listen, we need to remember one thing as well, was that when you see him play for Norway, he has that Haaland guy. He has a striker that he can always feed, right? And we need to give him that as well. Listen, me as well, and I'm sure people as well. When we got injured, when Odegaard got injured, people were scared. People were scared.
He missed 7 Premier League games.
So. But listen. Regardless, everyone thinks you can look at the fan base. You look at the fan base. No one said he missed the season, but you can look at the fan base, and people were scared because they know that Odegaard has been one of our pivotal figures at the club for the last 3-4 seasons. Whether he has been dipping in form, cool, but he has been consistent this season. Very, very poor. But to call him crap, come on. You can't call him crap.
He's not good. He's not good enough
season.
As our attacking spot.
Yeah,
no, but listen. If you're telling me this, I'll give you this, bro. If we get the striker, right, and he's not feeding the striker no more, then cool, he's crap.
It's all about buying time for you lot, though, isn't it? It's just buying time.
I've seen Ozil setting up Giroud as well.
He does that for Norway. He does that for Norway. Like, he does it
easily. He'll be back though, man. Odegaard will be back, man.
Well, we hope this is all Arsenal Hope FC, or we hope so. Just all excuses. I'll tell you what, buzzing. I hope I eat my words. I will. I hope Odegaard was absolutely majestic next season. I just got 2 years of declining to prove that he probably won't be. But buzzing, yeah, there we go. No Odegaard. I hope that's going to be good. So when was the last trophy Odegaard was instrumental in Arsenal winning? Oh yeah, none, and he's the captain. Why is he subbed off all the time? Why is he the most subbed off captain in Premier League and since he's joined in? Why is that?
Why is that? Probably because he does more work than people in his position do.
People in the chat, let us know your thoughts on Odegaard. Go on. Let me ask you this question as well, lads, as well, since we're on midfield. Big up one of my mods, Valera. Forgive me for mispronouncing your name. I asked this question earlier and would love the opinions of other panelists. Oh, well, I'm left out. Is Zubamendi and Nørgaard an upgrade on Partey and Jorginho? I'm left out, so you lot got to answer it, not me. Damn.
No, I wouldn't say it's an upgrade because there's a lot of question marks whether Zubamendi is going to be able to cut it in the Prem, right? I think he is. He might take some time to obviously get there, but no, it's not an upgrade. It's not an upgrade. But if Zubamendi kicks on, then it probably is going to be an upgrade, right? So it depends how Zubamendi does. Because for me personally, as much as Jorginho is a calm player and he's a defensive line playmaker, but I would rather Nørgaard instead of Jorginho. I don't know what about you guys.
I think if I'm being very fair and honest, it's definitely not as good. But I also agree with you, the fact that we haven't seen it play out. It's kind of really hard to, how are you going to judge that? Like give at least 10 games of these guys playing for Arsenal and we can make a judgment. But based off what we know historically and based off what we see on paper, of course, Partey and Jorginho are better options than Zubamendi and Nørgaard in the Premier League for Arsenal because we haven't seen them play yet. And I mean, right, like how do you make that assessment? Just based off what the player you think, how good the player is. And on paper, they're better.
But who would you rather have, Jorginho or Nørgaard?
Bruh, I'm not even gonna lie to you. I don't watch Nørgaard. Like who watches?
Even regardless, it's Nørgaard. He's played more games, man. Jorginho, good player. Unfortunately, didn't have the legs.
Nørgaard is better than Jorginho.
I never said that. If we're trying to have a full season, obviously he's young. He's a couple years younger. Jorginho, I hear what you're doing, in terms of what you were doing in terms of being a senior member. I don't think you're a bad footballer. Reality is you do not have the legs. There's certain games for Jorginho. Nørgaard's more available. He played 37 or 38 games last year. He's going to be a squad player. He's more of a reliable player. And he obviously can't do what Jorginho does with a ball. But if you get Zubamendi on paper and you've got Declan Rice in that 8 role, they can't do what Jorginho does, but the creative spark isn't on Nørgaard. If you're going to be a squad player that can help us see out games. Across the season, you can bet on Nørgaard. Jorginho is certain games. And plus, unfortunately, he did pick up injuries. So in that regards, it's an upgrade. Of course, player for player, can't talk to them. It's not an upgrade. I know I wasn't asked on the panel, but it's not an upgrade. Ideally, you keep Partey and you get Zubamendi. That's probably the best. Or you get someone, whoever it is, that is a better upgrade, whoever it is. If we brought someone in to go with Zubamendi, that's better than Partey, that replaces Partey. It's a sideward step. I give the club credit for pivoting and getting Nørgaard in. But you need to go and get me some real stars in that final third.
That's all that matters, right? Like all this is like all cool and good, but at the end of the day, we are going to judge by the attackers, right? This all still needed to be done. And
basically that comment.
I think people are, a bit like they don't realize that you have to look at the bigger picture, right? It's not only about the 2 signings, because if we get those 2 signings and they get injured and then we don't have the rest of the squad, then people are going to be complaining about these players right now that we're signing that we don't have, right? So it has to come full circle. These are as important of a signing as the priority signings, in my opinion. And I'm glad that we've gotten out of the way early in June. Now we have 2 months to focus on a left winger, a striker, and a defender, right? And we got to just get that done and over the line.
And some outgoings.
And some outgoings. But I think some of those we already have in the pipeline. The some of the contracts are done already, right? Ethan Nwaneri, Saka. We've got to get the Saliba one done. But Andrea Berta has been a busy man, He's been cooking up that lasagna for us. Why are you laughing? Is it not true? He's Italian.
That's not where I put the. That's not where I put the.
I didn't think he was going to go there, but fair enough, man. Fair enough.
Now, when you're on Twitter, you get too many of these references. They just come to mind.
He's better than Edu. I'll give him that respectfully.
100%.
Just because you're hearing about pivoting and whatnot. For me, it's just about getting the stars. Do you lot think we'll miss Partey? Honestly, like when it's all said and done, are we going to miss him next season? I think we are.
Listen. I think we're gonna miss Partey. We're gonna miss his composure. We're gonna miss his passes, breaking through the lines. He does that a lot. He does that. But listen, Zubamendi can do that as well. When I was watching Zubamendi as well, in terms of him actually driving. I didn't realize he can actually drive a little bit more.
Yeah,
I just thought he was the type of guy to just give it and pass, give it and move. But he actually
Would have been
drives.
nice to get another number 8. To be fair,
Can we address,
I want another number 8. This is what I want.
There's bare guys that can play 6.
wait,
I want
DG,
a
can we
Morgan
address
Rogers.
those
I
comments?
want a Morgan Rogers. That's what I want. I want a Morgan Rogers.
There you go.
And just to give us that drive, you know what I mean? Especially when we're playing in the low blocks, we don't have that guy apart from Rice to actually drive us up the pitch. We need a Morgan Rogers. I want 3 players. I want 3 players. For it to be a perfect transfer window for me, 3 players: a striker, a winger, and a number 8.
We're not going to get the number 8. I think the winger is going to be a hybrid. It's either going to be a winger or it's going to be a number 8 that can play the winger.
Nah, I'm fed up with this
I
crap.
don't. Yeah, I know.
I'll tell you, yeah, Mikel Arteta, right? Last summer, yeah, this is why I'm fed up with it. And I'll make this point to everyone because people won't get it if I just say I'm fed up with it. We signed Calafiori, we play him at left back, he ain't a left back. We signed Marino, we play him up front, he ain't a striker. The season before, we play, Timber, left back, he ain't a left back, he's a right back. We play Declan Rice, he ain't a left 8. We play Kai Havertz by him as a midfielder, he ain't a striker. Like, would you just carry on going back? Zinchenko's a midfielder, he ain't a left back. Guess what? Neither is Gabriel Jesus. Tomiyasu's all over the place. Ben White was brought in to be a centre back. Why can't we just sign a bloody left winger instead of having this hybrid nonsense or someone that can do a job there or can play there? Just go and sign a bloody left winger and stop fucking around. That's all I want Arsenal Football Club to do. Don't sign a striker that can play CDM on the number 2 or can go around the front line. Sign me a striker. That's what I want from the club. No pissing around. No hybrid versatile nonsense because that's all we've been doing. We spent 750, 800 million quid on versatile. And guess what? It's getting us worse away from the Premier League. Sign me a left winger, not a hybrid left winger. Sign me a striker, not someone that can do a job across the whole lot. Get me an ugly 6-foot geezer that knows knows how to make that net ripple. That's all I want. I couldn't give a toss if he can play left wing. Just get me the geezer that can do the job in their position. That's why at left back we've been failing for so long. We let Kieran Tierney walk away for free. Look at all the left backs he's played there. None of them are actually a left back. Well, it's ridiculous. Even the geezer now, we've got good old 80 million. I always say, let Miles Lewis-Skelly come in. He ain't a bloody left back either. He's done a fantastic job there. Fair dues to him. Why can't we just sign players in their bloody position for crying out loud? Why can't we just do that? We just fudge everyone all over the place and expect them to actually be a master in their new craft. Only Ben White really has worked out. All the other ones, they've moved position and they've been crap. Nowhere near good enough. Nowhere near good enough. Sign me a left winger. Don't sign me a hybrid. Sign me a striker. No hybrid. Facts. Come on, man.
Yeah, I have to agree with that. I have to agree with that.
Yeah, I have to agree with it too. But what we want and what is going to happen and what we know is going to happen is completely two different.
And
we're not going to fill in all the positions. Like,
and this is why.
Next year.
Yeah, and this is why I think we just need to kind of move away from Rodrigo or kind of put a bit more of a deadline in terms of
100%.
like what are you saying? Are you actually on this? Is there actually a chance to make this happen? Because we're putting all our eggs in one basket. But personally, I think we should go for Kudus. I think we should go for Kudus.
Raz, you're horrible. Go on, man. Raz, how did I catch a stray? go on.
I have a couple of points. So the first one was in regards to the comment that you just had up, right? And in terms of like the priority signings, and we've discussed this. Sometimes deals happen faster than others. It's not the fact that we are happy that we're signing the squad players or the backup players. You really think that I'm happy that we signed the backup players first? No, of course not. I wanted the striker first. I wanted the striker on the first day the window opened. But if I'm going to be realistic, I have to look at it in a full context to say, hey, as long as you get the other ones done, then I don't really care which ones you got first, which ones you got second. Just do the job and do it at the right level, at the right quality, and nobody says a thing. And also, the second point I want to talk about is the Thomas Partey one and missing him. Guys, if we're winning, we're not going to miss him, right? I only believe that we're going to miss him if we're struggling as a team and then we feel that gap, right? But if we're winning and Zubamendi hits the ground running and we're scoring goals and Sesko and this and bro, we are not going to remember Partey. I'm sorry. You know what I mean? The world moves too fast and he hasn't been one of those players like an Aubameyang who you're going to miss or a Sanchez or a Van Persie. Like, he's not that guy in my opinion, right? So I just wanted to clear that up on Partey. I think, yes, we could miss him, but it really depends on how well we do as a team. And in terms of the signings about the cam and the left winger, etc., like I agree with you, bro. Like 100%, we need to put a deadline. We are using a scout called Paulo Xavier, who used to work at Real Madrid, and he's the one who brought Rodrigo to Real Madrid. He works for Arsenal now as a scout, and we are using him as an intermediary and as a middle person to have this discussion with Rodrigo's father. So 100%, there needs to be a deadline there that says, hey, end of Club World Cup, you have another 1 week to make a decision. And if you don't make a decision, we're just going to respectfully move on and go sign Eze or go sign whoever we're going to want. I want Xavi Simons, but I think we would have already seen us trying to go for a double bid or whatever. So it's clear to me that we're not going to go for him, right? It's Anthony Gordon or probably what we said. And I agree with you, Aaron, 100%. We shouldn't be buying players that are not in their specific position. But at the end of the day, we already said as a panel ourselves that at the end of the season, whatever Arteta decides to do, whether he wants to sign a center back and play him left back, whether he wants Sesko over Gyökeres, whatever it is, he has to be held accountable for not winning or not delivering trophies this season, right? So again, we've said it, he's going to die on the sword or he's going to be a hero and there's going to be a statue built because he just won us the Premier League or the Champions League.
Yeah. If Arsenal give Arteta a statue for winning one of them, I'm going to push it down.
Yeah,
he needs to win multiple ones of them. Yeah. He needs to get multiple ones of them before he even thinks. If Arteta gets a statue before George Graham, I'll set the fucking club on fire, mate.
I saw this from Miguel.
Man, no way. Come on, man. You can't be saying that. No statue.
No, but I think the players even, look, I don't know what are the actual requirements really. We're not in a position to really talk about that when we haven't won something in 20, won the trophy in 20 something years, and we've never won the Champions League, right? If we won the
George
Champions
Graham
League,
didn't win it for 19 years. Where's his trophy?
Yeah, but I mean, if you win the Champions League, you're definitely getting a statue, right? In my opinion.
Nah,
I don't know. What does the rest of the panel think? Like, if we won the Champions League,
I think he will get a statue if he wins the champs. Just because we ain't done it before.
Yeah, okay. Just had to be sure that we're on the same page.
No, I don't think so. I don't think.
I think I just know the club. Like, we've seen the murals around the stadium. If we won the champs, you'd get a statue.
If he'd won 2 of the Premier Leagues that he bottled and then won the Champions League, I'd probably maybe
I get that.
So you saying a manager has to win 2 Prems and the Champions League?
I'm not saying that for a fact. I'm just saying he doesn't have to win just the Champions League. He's got to win surely numerous top titles. Not just one Champions League.
It's a fair statement. I don't really know what it is. I know the club would probably champs and fans would love it as well, of course.
George Graham, 2 league titles, FA Cups, League Cup, our last League Cup, by the way, our last European title in '94. Come on, man.
Yeah.
He's got to get a statue before Arteta. Should he ever be that successful, which he probably won't be.
Yeah.
I mean, let's face it.
Yeah, it's another question.
Yeah.
Bid, man. Let's win a trophy, man. We've been going through a lot, man. Hopefully, we win some silverware. I don't know if any of you know about this Christian Mosquera guy that we've been linked with.
Yeah, me too.
Well, we've been linked with a defender, African Gooner. You told me that when I said we need defensive reinforcements, you told me that we don't need that.
No,
I'm happy they agree.
We don't need to sign another left back.
You said we've got defenders, bro. I swear, I'm gonna do VAR after this. You tried to tell me can't bring defenders in.
Call me out. If the VAR shows I was wrong, then I'll take it.
I tried to tell you we needed one of these. Does anyone know about him? Is anyone happy that we've got defensive reinforcements?
I'm very, very happy. To be honest, I'm actually surprised that we went for him and no one else tried to actually make a bid for him, because this guy, when you look at Saliba, he hardly makes any tackles, right? He kind of positions you in a certain way, uses his body to kind of get the ball off you. Same guy, fast, can ping it, tall, strong. I'm happy with this signing, especially if it's for 20 mil? Is it 20 mil?
I don't know. The Athletic ain't said it. I don't know.
This is if we can get this over the line and then go get for example, our winger and our striker.
Oh man,
banging window.
Yeah,
got a year left on his contract as well. So.
Yeah, banging window.
Bargain, I guess.
We got in there early, because I guarantee you, if we would have let it to like July, there would have been other clubs going for him.
Leipzig apparently won him, but they ain't got the capacity.
They ain't got the funds.
They'd accept certain things.
They don't have the capacity.
They ain't got
it. We do not have the capacity.
They ain't got it. Like, if they accept, whether Sesko's the guy or not, if they got this Sesko deal on the line, who knows? They might have picked us to his side. And apparently, I read an article that Bert was looking at this guy in March. Fair enough, if he's going to come in and ease the workload on our defenders, then it's not going to break the bank. It kind of piggybanks off the signings we've spoken about already, and that they're quote unquote bargains. I need you to invest heavily up front and left wing. But I wanted to know your lot's thoughts on that. Apparently, we're still interested in Jarrell Hatto as well.
We wanted to go for Mark Guéhi, right, for 50 million. We've wanted Mark Guéhi for 2 years now, 2.5, 3 years now. But he's not going to get guaranteed game time, right? So the only center back that you can actually get at Arsenal is one that is willing to fight and compete with Gabriel and Saliba, who knows he's going to be the third guy or the fourth guy, right? And that is not going to be someone like, for example, Mark Gahey, which is why he's going to go to Liverpool. So, yeah, we probably will sign a center back. And we have been linked with him, as you said, for a couple of months. He's very good aerially. He's very good on the ball. He's aggressive. He's a good hybrid of a Saliba, Gabriel mix, you know. So really exciting. I agree. If we sign him, you know, I think we're still going for Hato. I don't think we're out of the race for that. Apparently, we might sell Kiwior to get this guy. So we could still end up getting 2 defenders right now. Like, it's still open in my eyes.
Being devil's advocate, African Gooner, you mentioned the mix between Gabriel and Saliba. I'm not watching this done week in, week out. So, like, what makes you say that, or where, like,
so his anticipation of the game is very, very good, very, very high, and he's aggressive, right? We're not used to very aggressive players. We are used to stupid aggressive players like Mustafi, who try to be aggressive and then they fall on the floor and then the striker has an open goal, right?
And tackle the refs in that.
Sorry?
And mark the refs.
Marking the refs, yeah, exactly, right? Or Socrates, or, you know, like, it's just really bad stuff. So in terms of aggressiveness, his power and his physicality is just so overpowering. And that's what we love about Gabriel and Saliba, right? Because when any attacker, whether it's Kane, Haaland, whatever it is, right, they
relish it.
Up, they're calm, they roll the ball, and they get us out of pressure. That takes a lot of level of skill, composure, mentality, and the right level of aggression. Aggression is good and a bad thing, right? You have to have it in the right balance. So he's super, and in the air, he wins a lot of headers. So that's what Arteta loves, right? We know we love a 6-footer, right? So
yeah. No, great player.
Yeah, he's an exciting player. Like, in terms of defenders, he's definitely an upcoming, and he plays for Spain, right? He's in the
play right back as well.
Yeah.
Which is good because Timber and Ben White, you know, needed that. They were done dirty. Let's be honest, last season.
Yeah,
a lot of players on the
Timber
was
done dirty for sure, because Ben White was injured and he had to play a whole season. And
which is why I said last stream, give or take, I feel sorry for the players. I don't really feel sorry for Mikel Arteta or those above him, where you look at how last season panned out. But that's neither here nor there. How much do you reckon Zinchenko and Kiwior could leave, especially with another defensive body coming in?
Listen, for Zinchenko, maybe 20 million, but do we really want to get rid of Kiwior?
No, but
I don't want to, but I can see him saying, I want to go.
Mosquera, then yes, right? Would you, right? You would agree, if we're going to get Mosquera, you'd let go of Kiwior if that was the deal? Like, you only could get him?
No.
You would not? Wow. You keep Kiwior.
I'm only selling Kiwior if you say, I want to go and play football somewhere else. You need to stay for a body. We need depth and quality.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say.
I agree, but if the club think that Mosquera is a better profile and he suits us better, and we can play,
they can think that we need bodies.
I hear that, but it goes back to what Aaron was saying before: is that you can't just bring someone in that's not prem proven and then expect them to be. Do you know what I mean? Like,
and he's 20.
Respectfully, maybe next year, all right, Kiwior should go once. Obviously, Mosquera's got that.
And the depth, one's coming in, one's going out. It's not movement.
Center back as well, right? And if we get Hato on top of Mosquera, then I'm happy to let go of Kiwior, right?
I don't think we're bringing in them two defenders. I hope I'm wrong. I like Hato, but I don't see both of them moving this window.
Let's see. It's still early days. You're right. I can't tell yet if it's going to be one or two, but we're open to both, so it might be just one.
I don't reckon, because Zinchenko's got a year left on his deal, I don't think we'll get up to 20 million from him. I think we'll get between 10 and 15.
15
and with the wages thing, you know, he's on 150k a week. Do you know what I mean? A club's just that drives the price down even further.
He's probably going to go to AC Milan or Fulham, right? And if he goes to Fulham, probably we get the 15 million. If he goes to AC Milan, we'll probably
Prem Club will pay more than. Yeah, I agree with that. Yeah, definitely.
We'd like to hope so.
And you know, if you do get in a Hato, where's he coming in to play left back? You presume, yeah, you're a Hato, yeah.
Left centre back, yeah.
Left centre back, so he's not going to play left back. So that's what I mean. Yeah,
no, but he can play both, right? Like,
he played a year at Ajax as a left back. I think right now he'd probably get more game time, give or take his fair game. Him and Miles Lewis-Skelly, Gabriel Magalhaes makes that a myth at this moment.
If he's coming in at left back,
why are we forgetting Calafiori?
If he's coming in at left back, that's what I'm saying. Just keep Calafiori as a backup to the left side of centre back and get rid of Kiwior and Zinchenko.
Yeah,
that's how I'd go around on that avenue. Yeah.
Then Calafiori, they can't stay fit based on what I've seen.
Listen. You know what it is?
I'd get rid of Calafiori.
No, I want to get rid of Calafiori. I basically think it is that he's come to the Prem and you're running a lot more, you're chasing a lot more. Italy, you're You're chilled.
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
it's a nice tempo in Italy. When you come into England
It's
and guys are pressing
hard.
you need to be on point, right? I think he's got the better of him this season. So hopefully he's realized that, you know.
But also it feels like his
peak of it.
mind. You know how Ben White is like, he doesn't watch football, but like he's a student of the game. Like, but Calafiori seems like, you know, on his off time, he's just straight chilling. Like I've seen this guy, he was at a concert in Bologna, then he was in Ibiza, now he's flying again, he's going somewhere else. You know, like he's just on the move. So like you can tell like that's his lifestyle as well. You know what I mean? Like sure, he's a good pro, but like is football really like his only love? I struggle to believe that it is. So I also think it's a mentality.
He looks in the mirror a bit too often, innit? But
oh yeah.
But But the thing is, as well, is that if that is his lifestyle, then we need to get rid of him.
Yeah, but we just signed it. Like it's not going to happen now, right?
With him, I can at least appreciate. If someone didn't want to sell Calafiori, I could at least appreciate the argument of saying, "Oh yeah, we'll give him one more year." I could at least understand it because I do sort of have a little bit of patience sometimes with some players. Like, you know, like he's young. Not many Italians in general, especially defenders, come over to the
He's the youngest player in our team, excluding the Haylenders.
Yeah. So yeah, do you know what I mean? So I can at least appreciate that someone on a different viewpoint as me would go, you know, he's young, he's only been here for a year, give him another chance. I get that. If we had a good offer come in for him, I would cut my losses and try for someone else. That's just me. However, if we give him another year, it's not the worst thing in the world. It is what it is with me for Calafiori. If a 25 million bid came in now, I'd be like, yeah. If you've got another player that you think could do a better job to come in, get him now. Otherwise, do you know what I mean? Maybe give him a year or whatever. But you just got to make the right choices at the right time, and the best football clubs do that more often than not.
Yeah.
Fair. What are you lot saying for the striker front? Apparently, Benjamin Sesko followed us on Instagram.
Oh man,
why aren't you showing my tweet about my FBI case, bro?
Huh?
Like, show my tweet about my FBI case. Let's talk about that.
Send me the link. I haven't seen your tweet. I can't lie.
Really? I was the one before Fabrizio. I'm the one who broke the news about.
I got alerts for Fabrizio Romano. I just saw him do this.
You know why you didn't see it? Because you've muted me. Because I know if you click that,
you're not muted, mate. Why would that mute you?
African Gooner, don't have it.
Sometimes I feel like muting you and Miguel, but I don't do it.
African Gooner, don't have it, mate. He's muted you. I know.
I've got alerts for Romano, as I'm sure a lot of us do.
Nah, I
wouldn't take that.
Friends.
DG's taking the piss, mate. That's what he's doing. I
Look at this.
That,
look at this.
All right, I sent it to you.
Yeah, let's see it. Go on. Where did you send it?
I sent it to you on Twitter, on DM.
But
guys, post it in the private chat, man.
So what do we think about? I don't know if it's true or not, but what do you think about Sesko asking for a release clause to be put into the contract?
It's not true.
I think it's bullshit. To be fair,
it's BS. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
I said that like a week ago.
Okay. Cool. Because I heard that one time and I was thinking,
it was fake, and the wages thing is fake as well.
All right, fair enough.
Yeah.
If it was true, which we're saying it isn't. If it was true, I'd move away from him instantly.
Thank you very much, Aaron. Thank you very much. I'll tell us.
Yeah, if it was true, fuck off.
You're trying to use us as a stepping stone, right? Nah, bond that. Go.
You can use us as a stepping stone, and let me just hear me out in the sense that we're not Real Madrid. I hear that. If you've got ambitions to go and do that one day, great. If you develop, you go there one day. And clearly Arsenal know it anyways, because that's one big reason about he's 22 days resale value. Do your job, you got nothing to worry about. But as for that release clause, forget it, mate. Like you're not getting none of that in cold writing. If you develop, which we all would want, let them come and talk to us. Let's get decent money.
So many people. I'm actually laughing at this. It's hilarious. DG, you make me laugh, bro.
You gotta just mute people sometimes.
People who commented on my post, he's already muted them. I don't even know.
Yeah, man. Like, no, because social media it's too much, man. You don't get too invested in it, and man.
Look, too invested. But you know what? I did the same thing, and I announced Jurriën Timber signing for Arsenal before anybody even, had a whiff.
You've been saying this whole thing. You've done all of that, man. You're in the wrong profession. You need to go be at ITK. Are you hand of Arsenal?
Nah, dude, there's a big difference. Like, if I had direct relationships and I could have that information, of course I would do it. It's obviously there's only a few people in the world that clearly can do that, and they would never share how they do it because then you would be competition to them, right? So what do you do instead when you have lack of that? You go do research. You spend hours. You follow barbers. You follow tattoo artists. I follow girlfriends, and I do a lot of work behind the scenes. It's the hustle. if I want to be, if
I
I
love
want to
that,
be,
love
I hear
that,
you.
love
I hear you
that.
on the
I love that, love
investigating
that,
thing,
love
but
that.
it sounded mad.
guys, if I want to be the best, right? To be the best, you got to put in the work. I work 10, 12 hours to do this. I did this at 2
No,
o'clock
we
in
hear
the
that.
morning.
But following guys' girlfriends is crazy.
Bro, this is what you got to do. You want to get the inside scoops. You got to be ready to consume all the information and find the loops.
Dirty bastard. You dirty git. Ain't even any good though.
Nah, I mean, to be honest, this whole
Send me
thing
the
was
links to the best looking ones.
yeah. I'll share them to you. That I mean, they all are right. Football players get the
Wow,
baddest
I
girls.
think the
Like,
conversation's going in a different direction, lads.
Hey.
Let's bring it back. Let's bring
Yeah,
it back.
in terms of the Sesko stuff,
sounding
yeah. I
mad.
mean, what happened is that basically his agent started following a lot of Arsenal accounts, and what I did is I went and downloaded an app and I paid for an app that gives you basically a breakdown of the most recently followed accounts, and I could see which accounts he most recently followed. So I paid to get that information, and then I put together a story, which is basically you can see right there, and I put it in chronological order, the number of accounts that he started following. Why is he following Soba Reality, right? Like, it's very clear and obvious what's happening here. And then I went and did more research, and I found out that his barber was flown into Greece to give him a haircut, and he made an Instagram post basically insinuating that the next haircut that he's going to be giving him, it'll be in London. And why would he insinuate that? Because he's going to be moving to Arsenal. Like,
Is he just on holiday in Greece?
A few weeks ago. Yeah, he's on holiday in Greece, and he got his barber to come, give him a haircut, and then he posted this. And what happened, I made this story and I posted it, and it went viral, of course. FBI is on the case, and everyone went to the barber's Instagram account, to the post, started messaging him, and he messaged me back telling me basically we're going to get an update very soon. And he's made it quite clear that this is going to happen.
Yeah, Arsenal fans.
It's been fun, bro. It's crazy, but I mean, look at this. Look at what I've been able.
So is the Gyökeres stuff nonsense then? Based on what your findings,
No,
obviously you're not an ITK, but the Gyökeres thing is nonsense then.
No, we know that we're going for both deals. Like, we know that Andrea Berta is negotiating multiple deals. That's why we're hearing this stuff about Eze. It doesn't necessarily mean that we're going to get Eze. But again, Andrea Berta is getting all these deals so close to the line that when we're ready to pull the trigger, nobody knows, right? Like, we're ready. We blink, Nørgaard finish. Like, that is how Andrea Berta moves. And that is how we're seeing these play out. So, you know, I actually wasn't the one that tracked these X-Car. You know, you can't get everything. But I've had my fair share of exclusives that I've broken from doing a lot of research.
But you might as well be smart and do other clubs, you know.
I would, but I love Arsenal. I don't care for anything else. Like, I breathe and love
You
Arsenal.
just said you want to get somewhere with it. So you're like, you pay for an app. You might as well put it to good use.
You know, people put me in touch. I'm happy.
Follow the Chelsea girlfriends and whatnot, man. Follow Spurs.
I'm happy to extend. I know you're making it as a joke right now, but I mean, again, like,
no, I'm being serious. Like, if you're looking for an angle, that could be it.
I mean,
because everyone and their dog's doing the Arsenal thing.
Different angles come from different places, right? Like, a girlfriend or a wife is one of the ways. For example, Gabriel Jesus just had a new baby, right? And his wife posted it. So that's where I would get that information. It's all part of the research. It's all part of the due diligence that you need to do if you want to get the right information and be at the forefront of things. And that's what I like to do. That's my passion. And that's why I do what I do. And that's why I know so much about Arsenal. I spend every single day. I'm the first person in the world. I wake up at 6 a.m. in the morning on a Saturday morning to be the first person in the world to post pictures of Arsenal players walking out of the bus to go into the stadium. I'm that guy. I'm the person that does that work to do that every single day. And yeah, it's a passion.
And he likes following the ladies.
Well, I mean, you can take that however you want. Clearly, it's not the way that I do it, but hey, it's all fun and jokes, so I'll laugh with you.
I'm only having a
you're only pulling your leg, man. Chill out, man.
No, it's cool.
Yeah, come on, calm down. I'm not calling
man, don't get
African
Let's go back.
To be credited, and it's fine. I've just accepted it. Like, I don't want the credit. What I do, you know what I mean? I spend 10, 12 hours. I quit my job to work on Arsenal. I do this for free, you know? So, like, this, you know, this at the end of the day, this is the decision that I made, and this is my passion. This is what I follow, bro.
Wait, I'll rate the work rate, bro. Yeah, no one's knocking that. Yeah, definitely not knocking that. They're having a laugh. But yeah, you've said to me before off cam, yeah, you got great work rate, man. Fair dues to you for that.
Thank you.
Who are we getting next, man?
No idea. I mean,
you ain't seen Berta in Brazil for no reason or following Air Brazil? Like,
let's go probably the next one, and then we'll see who we can get in terms of the winger signing, right? It's still not very clear. Like, as things start to develop, you can kind of put things and pictures together. And when you've done this for so long, you can kind of like make the deductions off of what you see, which is why I told you that's like I was so confident about Sesko before any of this. When we were talking about this 3-4 weeks ago, right? I was confident. You said say it with chest. I said it with chest. And look now, I'm proving it. And Fabrizio is reporting stuff 24 hours after me, right? That has to mean something. David Ornstein's in my DMs. That has to mean something, right? I mean, it means I'm doing something right.
Fair play, man.
Did he ever write back?
Well, he's the one who actually.
I'm joking. I'm fucking with you. Come on.
Yeah.
I'm joking.
Man, he's pulling your leg, man. So yeah, we've gone over Sesko. Personally, just
I know. I'm saying I'm cool. Yeah, pull it. It's fun. This is what I enjoy about the transfer window. Like it's exciting. Like as a fan, this is what you're excited about. You want
when we get guys like this, or to be fair, based on the money for Sesko, this is when I start to get excited. But we're moving in the right direction. Speaking of excitement, Eze, what are we saying? I'm sure before you all came on stream, if you didn't see before, we've been linked with Eze now. I think we've all briefly always spoken about him. I'm on this. I would love this. Where you like?
I love it too.
Yeah. But I would rather play him as an 8/10 in that position as opposed to the winger position.
Why?
Because I think we need a Kudus. I think we need a Kudus on the left.
You'd have Kudus over Eze?
No, I'll get Eze and Kudus, but I'd rather Kudus to play for the winger position and Eze to be that number 8/10 that we're looking for.
I agree. Well, not with a Kudus, 100%. I'd rather get someone else at left back, but I actually agree with where you'd play Eze, 100%. I reckon they'd bang at left 8 with a proper winger run off of him.
Yeah, lovely.
Yeah,
be great.
Yeah. I'm totally with you, 100%. I've said my in terms of when you say dream, you say it loosely, but if you was to, and I sort of disagree with the order that the signings come in, because I think there's so many pros that heavily outweigh the cons of getting your big signings in first. So like it's sort of a shame. I get that they're harder deals to do. I totally get that. But like if you was to say to me halfway through July, Arsenal had Eze, Rodrigo, and Gyökeres, I'd be very, very happy with what we've done so far.
And let's be real, there'd be a lot of shirts being sold at the Armory.
Yeah. Look, I'd be very happy with that. I do totally get, at the end of it, let's just say even before the season starts, if you've got them all, I do totally get. People will say, well, they're all there. But what I will say is there's so many more pros to getting the top men in. You don't have competition, because as the season goes on, top clubs could have injuries at any sort of stage in this transfer sort of window. And by that, I mean, let's just say, for argument's sake, just take this as an example. Haaland gets an ACL, he's done, and they want a striker. They're probably ambitious enough to go, maybe we'll get Gyökeres and then just sell him after a year or two.
They did have Alvarez, but he wanted to cut. And
that's it. Yeah, I'm just using that as a very small sort of example. Like a Liverpool, the longer you wait, now they could sell Darwin Núñez, they could sell Diaz. All of a sudden, they've got a Gyökeres fund. So do you know what I mean? Like, there's so many pros to that getting it done. You could lose your player if you wanted Gyökeres. Also, if you did lose Gyökeres,
Liverpool been linked with Sesko as well.
Yeah, look, that's right. But also, let's just say we know the two strikers are our main strikers. Yeah, the two Gyökeres and the Sesko. Let's just say Liverpool or someone else, whoever else is regarded. This isn't my point. All of a sudden, then Leipzig go, right, so Sesko's your only main target now, are they? What happens to the price? It goes that way. The longer, that's it. The ball's no longer in our court. We've given more power in terms of negotiation. We've relinquished some of our own because we're like, all right, well, you know that you need our guy now. The longer it goes in the window, the more desperate Arsenal are. The more desperate Arsenal are, the more price it is. And that isn't just a translation just for transfer fees alone. That also works in wages. If your guy is Sesko and you're his agent, are you gonna get more money for your geezer? Of course you are. You're gonna go, okay, that's cool. Well, he was 150k in June and July. Guess what? Now it's August, and now he's 180. Do you know what I mean? The prices goes. Plus, they get integrated into the squad quicker in terms of meeting their teammates, being on the plane wherever we're going in preseason. Is it Hong Kong? I think going and getting a preseason. Singapore, yeah, getting a preseason in with your players. There's so many pros that outweigh the cons in terms of getting your big business done early. It also settles us fans, for crying out loud. Come on, man. We wouldn't be so running our heads around. I know I wouldn't. If we'd have already got, say, Gyökeres in the door, even right now, I'd be like, all right, cool. Then in 2 weeks' time, we get a cheeky little bit of a Rodrigo, and then we top it off in July by getting an Eze. I'm quite happy. I'm not, now fill the holes. Go get your Kepas whenever. Then go get your Nørgaards or whatever. I'm cool then. But now, knowing how poorly Arsenal have behaved, especially under Mikel Arteta in terms of signings and getting our main targets over the last 5 years, that's what makes me worry a little bit more. It's not whether we'll be able to get one or all of them. It's whether we will just be able to get something done. Great, we've got all of these players in there now, but you got to go get the big boys. And we've already relinquished a month of that already. This is what people are understanding. We're flying out for our pre-season tour on the 19th. We play our first game, I think, 5 or so days later. It's 7 and a bit weeks until the Premier League starts. There isn't 3 months left of this transfer window. Before we know it, boys, we're going to be halfway through July. Before we know it, we're going to be a week away from playing Manchester United in the Premier League. We need to sort of wake up now. Granted, got all these big boys in, done, sweet. But now get some strikers, get a winger, get something over the line now, please, Arsenal Football Club. You know, that's from my side of the fence. That's all we're sort of thinking, man. It's time to pull the finger out now, you know?
Yeah, I agree with you, bro. And again, that's why I always go back to the last recent transfer window, which was in 2023, where we signed the Declan Rice and Havertz. I know I keep repeating it, but those we got in around July, you know, just before mid-July.
Jesus was in the year before, if I'm not mistaken, as well.
Yeah, exactly. So as long as they're there, ready for pre-season, I'm happy. That's what
I agree.
Yeah, that's what I'm with.
I will
like, I know I make content, but I'm not with. We don't do that.
As long as you're there for pre-season, because I think, do you remember when we got in the Declan Rice and Havertz and we got them in pre-season? Do you remember when we went to America and we played Man United? I think it was Chelsea as well. We absolutely battered them, and we looked ready for the start of the Prem.
And
I think we need to do the same.
Lord help you in September the 1st comes and we ain't done anything.
It was Jesus and Zinchenko. Yeah, you're right.
And they both started well because we signed Zinchenko and he flew over, didn't he? And played.
And
look how both of them started. Look how both of them started. It's a perfect example of what I'm saying. They both were fantastic.
With a point to prove. Like that was the beginning of the revolution when we actually started signing serious ballers, right? In my opinion, that actually played the system that we played. And I think there was a lot of positive energy in that moment. That's why that season just feels like any other season that really we've experienced. Even though we had a better season the season after, we had more points. I still reference that season as the season we played. Incredible positive energy. Even the fans, the whole stadium, the atmosphere. It was just another level, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right.
It was good. Yeah, the atmosphere in the stadium was good that year. It was. Yeah. It's best. The best. That season's the best it's been few years prior, and then also still to now. That was still the best season. I genuinely believe that was the first season, obviously, that you looked at Arsenal and knew we was blowing teams away. We was winning some of the games in the first half.
Now the club have to earn that credibility again with, I believe, a large basis of fans. I do think there are some fans that will just, I don't know what it is, but Arsenal could do anything, say anything, and they're just happy to be here. I think there's some fans that were very critical of the club. They said, you know what, prove me wrong. To a degree, Arteta and Arsenal gave them something to believe in, and then the bubbles just popped with last summer and how the season's panned out. The club have to earn that credibility back, man.
DG, shit the bed though, mate. Like
he's done it better.
We bottled the league title, and what he done was he was like, "Whoa, right? What we'll do is we'll
the whole club
stop attacking, and then we'll just defend."
Yeah,
and
he's too scared now.
The balance right. He has. His G-strings have got fucking crap all over him, mate. They just haven't, they? Like, do you know what I mean? He's pulled his pants down and gone, "Oh God, not again." And he done it the same thing again. He was like, "Oh, why don't I? When will this end?" That's what he's done. Like, you know, it's I don't mean to be whatever, but it's just frustrating that he hasn't been able to find the balance. And it's been 2 seasons that,
and it's been too long now. Like, the gloves are off for everybody at this club now,
dude. Literally,
they weren't already.
Yeah, a lot of people have it ready. Like like it's mid swing. It's just ready to land. And if we start drawing games at the beginning of the season and stuff, I can see this going down the drain, bro. It's going to be really tough.
I want to ask you this question as well. Christopher, sorry for taking your question on and off screen. I think it's interesting. In you lot's opinion, of course, does a proper winger do much at Arsenal? The way we keep the ball and how deep teams sit against us, there's no space. So someone like Eze on the left with his ability may work and can bang a goal or two.
No, I would say if you put Eze on the left, it's going to play into that low block because obviously he's going to cut in, right? You need someone that's going to stretch the defense, stretch the fullbacks, and then you got Eze sitting in the half spaces. That's where you want Eze. You want Eze in the half spaces because he can drop in, spin, either shoot, which obviously you've seen him do, or he can play someone in. That's what we need. We need a left winger that's actually going to be able to get minimum 10, 12, 15 goals. And
We
then
need a demon out there, man.
Yeah, and then a striker that can get 15, 20 goals. That's what we need. That's what we need. Let's not waste any more time and think, oh, someone that's going to be creative and bang, 1 or 2 goals. It's past that now. Go get that winger that's a demon, right? So if you're going to get Rodrigo,
posted something 2 hours ago. Did you guys see this? Sorry, Rodrigo posted himself with the Real Madrid stuff, and he put a white heart.
Yeah, he's going to do them mind games. I wanted to ask you, like, at what point? Yeah, obviously, in my opinion, go after Rodrigo as much as you want. Quality player. Listen to him if he wants to, whatever. At some point, well, now anyways, you need to be tying up some level of a plan B. But at what point do you go all the way for Rodrigo? And then if he's not trying to make movements, let's say, for example, by the 17th of July, like what date or what point do you think, you know what, forget this, it's not happening, move on?
I'll give him to the 10th of July. 10th of July, because as you know, it takes a while for you to get these deals over the line. It takes a couple of days, negotiations, contract, agent fees, all of that. 10th of July. Slap a little 80 million, slap a 90 million, be like, listen, this is what we want to do. We want you. We are one of our guys that we want, star player. We'll give you 300 grand, whatever the case may be. What is it? No. Okay, bye. Because as we know, look, Aaron just said it. 17th of July, we're flying out. A couple of days after, we're going to be starting matches. As much as I love Rodrigo, as much as I would love Rodrigo at the club, we can't keep putting all of our eggs in one basket and then we get pulled with our pants down because Chelsea are looking for left wingers. Other clubs are looking for left wingers as well.
Everyone's looking for strikers slightly as well.
Exactly. So we can't be messing about, right? We need to get our things done by the mid-July, get our things done for Rodrigo because this has been 3 months, 2 months that we're talking about. Oh, yeah, he does. He's waiting. He's hearing. Bro, allow that. Put the bid down, 10th of July. If you want to come. If you don't, cool. Let's pivot.
Can't disagree with that. You got anything different to say, or you share the same sentiment?
I mean, I feel like we talked about this, right? There has to be that deadline, right? And that deadline needs to be sooner rather than later. And I agree. We just need to pivot and be able to switch targets if it's not going to be the one. But I also agree that we need a statement signing. We need that one player who the rest of the league is going to look at. Like how we're looking at Wirtz at Liverpool right now. We're like, whoa. Like we need that whoa as well, and I do think Rodrigo can be that guy, but I also do think that Eze can be that guy. And in terms of like that comment specifically about the winger and will he change, we need a winger that is dynamic and is going to be willing to break the game open for us. We need someone who's going to be able to dribble 2-3 players, take them out of position, either be able to score that chance themselves, or by breaking free and forcing people out of the positions, have another one of our players open to have a real chance on goal, right? Whether that's Saka, whether that's the striker, etc. Right now, that is not the way we play. We just have 2 wingers running down the wing, crossing the ball to nobody in the middle, and then we just keep recycling that, and we'll try to score from set pieces. So that's why we need some impact player or left winger or someone like Eze that can dribble, nutmeg you, make you look stupid, and then put it top corner. We don't have anybody who can do that in the team consistently enough. Saka can't be the only one. And I really do believe that Zubimendi, and I know people hate hearing this, but like that left-hand side is still not fixed. It's still broken. And I really do believe that once we fix that, there will be much more balance. And teams will not, teams expect us to go to Saka every time. Less than it was 2-3 years ago.
I'm not going to lie, it's been like 2 years bordering on 3 now with that, man. That's why that's another reason as to why I say half of these problems, they've been here for time.
Yeah.
Like it's long now.
Yeah,
I hear you though.
Of course. I know. And I can't dispute that, right? But we haven't addressed
it. Tactically, you need to fix up now.
We haven't, we didn't get an improvement on Xhaka. Like we're still waiting, right, for that upgrade on Xhaka. But let's also remember, like Martinelli's best season was when Xhaka was playing forward, right? And Declan Rice is good, but he's not 2
years ago though.
Yeah,
I'm not saying you're wrong, but 2 years ago.
Respectfully, bro. Sorry to cut you off. Respectfully, bro, is that whilst I do agree with that, what you just said there, if you are a good player, regardless who is kind of in that position, you're still going to be getting certain minimum numbers.
Yeah, and my counter to that is if the coach has drilled you so badly and so nailed down as a robot to do a certain thing, you're scared, right? You're scared to do something else because you fear that you're going to get taken off.
You're not wrong, but in Martinelli's case, I don't believe that though, man. You just ain't keep trying.
How many chances has he missed last season?
Who, Martinelli?
A load of chances.
Yeah, but
Too many
still the
chances.
decision
Trossard also
making.
missed a load of chances, right? Jesus misses a load of chances.
No,
Havertz misses a load of chances.
but I get it. But
Saka
what
missed a
I'm trying to say,
penalty.
but what I'm trying to say, because you just made a statement there that he had his best season when Xhaka was there, which I do
Yeah.
agree, by the way, right?
Yeah.
But the amount of
You're
chances
not wrong.
he's had,
But 2 years
the,
ago now.
the amount of chances he's had last season alone,
He's also dipped
right?
in form, of course.
You should be getting at least
Yeah,
10,
of course.
10.
It's a
10
squad player
minimum.
thing. I like Martinelli. It's a squad player thing.
But you know, if everything is going on the right, like I think once you balance that, and then if still doesn't, then it's like so clear and obvious. I think it's like more than one.
No, I
thing.
think you're right. That's
Yeah.
why I'm saying upgrade on the left.
Yeah,
Arteta
you
pattern
have
up that
to.
left hand side. Martinelli on the bench.
No, 100%. Like I've always agreed that Martinelli needs to be benched and he needs to earn his place back in the team. But I've never agreed with people saying we need to sell him and sell him for 50 million and whatever. Like that is.
You wouldn't sell him for 50 million.
I wouldn't sell him for 50 million. No, we should be getting like 60.
We bought him for 50 million.
Doesn't matter. You like
Hasn't kicked on in the last 2-3 years.
The only thing is the wages, right? Like he has very high wages. That is the only barrier for any club really to sign him. But if he's going to another Premier League club or if he's going to Saudi Arabia, then they need to pay us the money, bro. Like we can't be selling Martinelli for cheap chump change.
Part of me thinks he actually needs to leave, you know. And it's with a heavy heart because I back him. I just feel you need to be at a team. You just need to be at a team that's more direct because I don't even think you necessarily need to improve in the things I want you to. You're just gonna get more chances.
I think give him one more chance with the real team. Like plug all the holes, get that striker.
Nah, don't get twisted. Martinelli's staying for life. I'm shameless with it. But
right? Like if Sesko comes in and he can, bounce off of him, that chemistry, like it can change a player completely.
To be fair, Jesus was his best football.
I think
certain man thrive regardless. He's too old for that now, man.
I think if Gyökeres comes in, because you need to remember Gyökeres loves to operate on the left as well, and then obviously
Gyökeres is going to Man U, bro. I'm telling you.
Again,
would you sell Martinelli? Sorry, go on. Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you.
No. Sorry, bro. I was just going to say, Gyökeres loves to operate on the left, and naturally Martinelli loves to come in the center as well. So I think that might be the better fit, unless Sesko.
Yeah, it would be, but I don't think it will have. I agree with you 100%. By the way, that's why I was also keen on Gyökeres because he can link and he loves that left wing. So then and Martinelli wants to be closer to goal, and it's like perfect because then they can switch around. But I think Sesko will do that too. Sesko will go out on the wing and Martinelli will come in. It's all about the tactics and what the manager decides to do, right? I think we're too rigid, and that's our biggest problem. And we're slow.
Yeah, but there's always one thing that people forget about Sesko as well, which is why actually he'd be a better striker than Gyökeres, because he can kick the basketball net. Remember that? He can kick the basketball net.
Yeah, I was going to say that serious.
Come on, man. I can't stand Sesko. Let him stay where he is. Come on, man. There's that video going around, and it's like him kicking the basketball hoop. Wow, who cares?
You can be a good athlete, and I like you, Sesko, but I just care about goals, man.
Yeah, come on, man. We want to see that net ripple. I want the geezer that's done it 89 times in the league in the last 3 years, not the geezer that's done it 43 times. Come on. Come on.
And with that being said, the man have got to get out of here, people, man. I've put together a great panel. I appreciate you all for giving me your time. Before you lot all get out of here, promote your stuff, man. Where can people find you and all that?
Yeah, for me is RYL Football Hub. I'm on TikTok and YouTube. Lovely.
Yeah, for me it's African Gooner on Twitter and Instagram. So yeah, if you're interested, have a look.
Yeah, I'm Aaron Talks Arsenal. Yeah, on YouTube. Yeah, and Instagram. I don't really know how to use Instagram very well, but yeah, it's what it is. I can use YouTube a little bit better, fortunately. Got to jump over.
I'm with you, Aaron. I'm with you, mate.
Yeah. I don't know. I just set up the Twitter, whatever it is. I set one up for the first time, mate. Honestly, it's just so alien to me.
Weird, man.
You're
gonna find it's a weird little app, mate. Weird app.
African Gooner. I'm probably gonna have to probably get some lessons from you, bro.
Yeah, I'm down. I've been through the trenches. I've been there, done that. I've dealt with all the politics, and it's a fun space, but it can be toxic.
Yeah, it's weird, man. I scrolled down for the first time. I was scrolling down literally within like the first 7 or 8 pages. I'm like, wow. Oh, Jesus Christ.
But you know what?
It is a bit of a culture shock.
It's the best platform for real life information, right? And like if you are a football fan, a diehard football fan, like you're surrounded by just diehard football fans. And that is a community that is appreciative, and I enjoy being a part of, more than just Instagram, where it's my personal account about my personal life.
Hey, go on, Aaron.
Sorry, I was just gonna say I need to learn all the abbreviations, because KJS, loads of them write the BMT. There's loads of people that write. I ain't got a clue what they all mean unless he's had a typo. I'm just terrible with it. Everyone writes all the abbreviations. I'm like, I don't know what they're saying. What does it mean, BMT?
Big man ting.
Big man ting. Oh, I never have had a chance at knowing that. Yeah, come on, man. Big up, man. Big up, man.
Hey, you're a legend, man. But the people have told you where you can find them. Chat people, my panel. Enjoy your evening. Of course, I'll get them back together when there's some info to talk about. And on that note, one love. In a bit.
One love, people.
Come
Sweet,
on,
man. Take it
Peace.
easy, boys.
Like